Okay, it's day 74 of our 1 hour day workout. Today, I usually talk about everybody else and everything else, but today, this motivation, came to mind, I want to speak about today. That's including for myself. So instead of exposing everybody else, I just want to expose myself. So let's get started. We're gonna work with the app accelerator. Um, I like this. I like this machine because you can sit there and talk to at the same time. So I could kill two birds with one stone. I could get a little exercise. It's not a vigorous exercise, but I'm not doing nothing vigorous. But I'm able to sit here and do something. Um, One of my motivations, determinations is to do some real push-ups. So I got coming, I think it's going to come on Tuesday, those things where, the round thing where you push up from it. So hopefully that'll help me with, I don't even know what the name of it is, but you'll see it when it gets here. Maybe those will help me. That's one of my determinations, okay? To do some push-ups, as far as this workout is concerned, because the push-ups is one of the things that, I know you got to have like upper body kind of like strength, but I'm gonna see if I could get a technique going that's going to help me do mines, because it's going to help all up in here, and some people say it helps down into the thighs, like all up in here and all down your midsection. It's a good exercise. Those guys be in jail doing them, and they be looking good. They be in shape. But today I wanted to talk about, just getting up and doing what you love to do, what you desire to do, what you desire to be, being motivated. Some people like me, back in the days, I used to have somebody help me, talk to me and talk me into stuff. I used to be talking about ideas and what I need to do. And until, the next person say, yeah, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do that. That sounds good. And then I go because that person egged me on to do it. And then I go do it to show that, yeah, I was running my cleaning business for like about 10 years or close to 10 years. And then I used to go to these business meetings, and I ran into a small business meeting. They say, write your business plan and put your little financial documents together, financial statements and stuff that would take a certified accountant. So you might have to shell out some money to get your financial information, for the taxes and stuff like that together. You could even pay for somebody to do your business plan, which might be expensive. And they got some sample ones online. But with the Small Business Administration, the SBA, they have their own outline. And to me, it's better if you do it yourself, because you actually know how you're going to set it up and how it's going to run, or what you're going to need, and all the different topics and stuff, the marketing and advertising and stuff like that. So that's supposed to be like a roadmap to your success, the business plan, right? So I just wouldn't do it for nothing. And I was every time I go to a meeting, I asked them, how can I get this loan without writing a business plan? Because business plan just seems so daunting to me. Like, I just didn't want to do it. So the guy that I used to have, I took the guy that used to supervise my crew that I hired to work with me and help me get the crew supervised, he used to tell me, I used to tell him, the different aspects of, what I had to do to get a loan, to expand. So he was like, yeah, come on, do it. Go ahead, write the business plan. And we found a CPA, a certified public accountant in Queens, for the right price to do the financial papers and stuff like that. I don't know, maybe I was having problems with getting somebody else closer to me, but this guy, his prices was right, and he said he could do it, so we had to get out there to Queens. And my supervisor was motivating me, and he was like, yeah, I'll go with you out there, you know what I'm saying? So with all his motivation, and I told one of my sisters, God bless her soul, and she was like, yeah, Kathy, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and because the thing is, the benefit of being a minority or being low income or, being small business is that there's programs for you, or there's a space in there for you. Like the banks are supposed to give a certain amount of loans, make a certain amount of loans to minority people. So they don't have a lot of minority people that, know that they need to write a business plan. Even if they know they need to write a business plan and put these papers together, they're not going to put forth that effort. Now, they'll go to the welfare center and, and do crazy documents. And them same documents that they do for the welfare center, it's about the same amount of paperwork to put a business plan together. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you go to the welfare center, they give you a big package. You know what I'm saying? You got to fill out all your documents. You got to come back and forth, and you got to sit in a crowded room. You know what I'm saying? And wait your turn. Wait hours and hours. Those hours that you waiting in the welfare center, you could be home typing up your business plan. You know what I'm saying? By the time you take care of all of the appointments that you have to do, stand on all the long lines that you have to stand on, and that was a determination, because I'm experienced with both. So that's what I be weighing, I weighed against, you know what I'm saying? Like whenever I have to do paperwork and stuff like that for a job or a contract or whatever, like if you contracting with cleaning or you contracting with whatever business and you have to type up the contract or put the paperwork together, do the footwork, whatever you have to do, there's a lot of people that's exerting that same amount of energy to sit on public assistance than to and I'm not talking about the people that's not educated. I'm talking about people that's have enough intelligence, have enough education, to successfully get things done. And then, in today's time, well, back then we didn't have all that, internet and Google and all of that stuff like that, or, we wasn't on to it so much. I think my first computer was 97 after I got the loan, but before I got the loan, I didn't have a computer, so everything was done, from scratch. I didn't Google answers, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have a sample. Only sample business plan I had was an outline from the Small Business Administration. But what I'm saying is that if you be persistent, if you really want something, you take the steps to get it done. And there's other things that you're doing, and there's other things that you're wasting, not really wasting your time, but there's other things that you're doing that your success will take, the equal amount of time. There's other things that's happening in your failure that the time is taken, like I said, using public assistance for an example. By the time you apply for public assistance and by the time you apply for, wait on the lines and do the big package paperwork and all of that stuff like that. And these days and times where you can Google everything, you can put things together, and you are, and a lot of people told me I wasn't going to get the loan. They're not going to give you nothing, you know what I'm saying? Because they was looking at me, being black and a female and stuff, that they're not going to believe in, your goals or your dreams or what you want to do. They're not going to believe in your success. So even my people around me, I had people telling me that it wasn't going to happen, because I had to go around and get some letters of references and stuff like that. And even though they gave me the letters of references, they doubted the success. You know what I'm saying? They knew how hard I was working doing the business and trying to get off the ground with the business, but they didn't believe that the government was going to help me get this loan, which is a guaranteed backup, for the loan from the bank, So now you got a backup if SBA approves to guarantee you, So I may have had one or two people that believed, that said, yeah, go ahead, put your paperwork together, My sister and then the guy that I had supervising my crew. Yeah, go ahead and I'll ride around with you wherever you got to go to make sure that you get where you have to go, because he was good with directions, So if I have to go to Queens or if I have to go to Brooklyn to do something, same with the jobs. A lot of times I used to like to just take contracts where, I knew the area, you know what I'm saying? But he was like, no, we could go to Staten Island, I know Staten Island, I know how to get out there, So I could drive, but he's the directions, you know what I'm saying? So he used to be motivating me to go places that I never been, and do things that I hadn't accomplished. And I used to need that, you know what I'm saying? I used to need somebody in my corner, you know what I'm saying, to motivate me to go ahead and get started, and and then, execute what I wanted to do, But, what I'm finding with the motivation, the best definition is determination, and you have to be self-determined to accomplish your goals. Even with with this thing that we're doing with the war against obesity, with the losing the weight and getting your body together, with getting up doing 1 hour workouts every day, you have to want it, and you have to be persistent in any career that you decide. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of things if you notice with artists and stuff like that, and sometimes you might have seen an artist that came out and you might have thought that they was, whack, or you seen an actor and he wasn't that good in the movie or something like that, but he constantly kept going. Or, you seen a rapper that, he wasn't that good at first, but he kept on going and got a hit song, or, you know what I'm saying? You have to stay persistent. You learn the business, and, you get better if it's what you want to do, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of the times with the arts and stuff like that, with, being an artist, drawing, rapping, actors and stuff like that, it goes for that too. And sometimes you gotta be realistic with yourself if your characteristics doesn't add up to who you are, and what you're about and what you're really interested in is not what you're going after. if you're not trying to go do it 1,000 times over, then that's not one for you. Yes, may I help you, young child?
Hello.
That's Cashy. Cashy is in the house. Cashy is back. So we're talking about motivation and being persistent with like a realistic goal, you know, or even your business, you know what I'm saying? Or a job that you want. A business is hard, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie about that, you know what I'm saying? You might wanna just get a job with an income, or you might wanna have that, you know, that little Y for that big Y. You know what I'm saying? You might wanna hold on to that job for that business idea, because you know with your job salary, you know, you're not going to become a millionaire. You just living paycheck to paycheck. But that big Y is the business that you want to pursue, and you using the job income to finance yourself for the big Y, which is the business that you're interested in doing. That you know, you'll eat, sleep, and drink that business. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll do it, you know, 24/7 if you had to, you know. You know, something that you don't want to do, you don't care to be doing, like, oh, I got to get up and do this, or, you know, I'm going after this particular career, but I hate to have to do it. If you got that attitude towards it, then, you know, that's really not, you know what I'm saying? If you hate it, you know what I'm saying? How are you going to be successful at it, you know? Or maybe you hate the grind, you know what I'm saying? You hate the struggle of getting there. You want to do that, but you hate the struggle. But the struggle is the best part, you know? It's the best part because the struggle is the part where you're going to be able to teach other people what you went through to get to your success, you know? And that's what I'm basically doing now, you know? And I'm not even all the way at my success, but I feel it. I've never been a motivational speaker. I've always been shy from a kid, nervous to talk in front of a crowd. But if I can travel around the world to motivate people to do what they want to do in life, and to, you know, pursue their goals and their wishes and their dreams, I would do that, you know? I would do that, you know? And I would start out as an amateur speaking, because I'm not really much of a speaker. So that would take trial and error. I probably get better as I go, you know, and being, you know, more persistent, you know, and, you know, I guess with people's testimonies that, yeah, that helped me, you know, it'll help me improve the program, you know, because I came from that place where, from a kid, I said, when I grow up, I'm going to be my own business. I'm going to have my own business.
Grandma.
And then when I grew up, I needed motivation to start putting the paperwork together to put my business plan together.
Grandma.
Yes.
I have a question.
What is your question?
Tell it to the people too. What is the iPhone you're using?
My granddaughter says she has a question. She wanted to know, what is the iPhone that I'm using?
A Q&A.
And this is her. She likes to do Q&As. This is, what iPhone am I using? This is the latest 12, I think. What was that latest one that came? 12 Pro Max.
11.
I paid almost $2,000 for it. And then I went and bought a police case because this is my first iPhone, so I didn't want to have a cracked screen like all the other people. But this phone here, they said they improved with the screen, and then I also put a screen protector. And I got a police case that is sit inside of 3 layers. So yeah. So the answer to your question is an iPhone 12 Plus Pro Max. It's one of the larger phones because I thought I was gonna have good camera, like this special camera, you know. But I guess the camera's okay. But my Android phone kind of records just as well. But I got the maximum amount of space, and so when I do my videos, I guess it's enough space to be holding up my my everyday videos. So back to the motivation. The motivation from being experienced, like I said, from a child. My mother died when I was 3, so let me expose my situation first. From a child when I was 3, my mother passed away, and I don't know if I was born shy or. Stop. Let me finish my motivation speech, and then we could get back to some other stuff later. I'll get back to you later, okay? My granddaughter's trying to get into, but I want to get everything out about the motivational. What I want to say about motivation first, and then we gonna let her back into the picture because she's a part of my program. Sometimes when she want to be. And see, I'm not even doing that much and I'm sweating. The way it looks in the camera might look like I'm not doing anything. I'm rocking back and forth. If you have a rocking chair, that could probably be a workout. But I got these resistant bands that I don't know if y'all can see my hands is in here. And this is why I say if you do 1 hour a day, then you're motivated to successfully accomplish your weight goals, If you give it 1 hour a day, but when I was a child, when I was only 3, my mother passed away, right? And I was shy, and I don't know where shyness came from, but I was the shy kid that didn't like to get up and dance when all other kids got up and danced. You know what I'm saying? When the teacher called on to me to read, I could read and write and everything, got good grades in elementary school, but, when I had to speak it or read out loud, I would be very nervous. You could hear it in my voice and everything. When it came down to meeting new friends and new people and gathering in groups and, introducing each other and, talking and stuff, I used to be shy, and shyness was a hindrance. And as I got older, the shyness became like she stuck up. It gave off the wrong, personality. It made me seem like, she all stayed to herself. She all stuck up to herself and stuff like that. But it really wasn't that. It was the fact that I was just shy. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't the fact that it wasn't the fact that I didn't want, friends. It wasn't the fact that I didn't want new friends, because once you was my friend, I open all the way up. You know what I'm saying? Once you're in my circle, or once we playing together regularly, everything is good. It's just that first meeting was always hard. That first introduction, was always hard. And, standing before a room full of people talking, I would be nervous. But if you learn to, get out of that, and be comfortable with the stage. And that's why a lot of artists, are successful, because a lot of people can't get up in front of the stage. They got stage fright, so it might block your success a bit. But just my character alone right there, that shyness in me, was something that, affected, because in business they say, it's not what you know, it's who you know. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're pursuing a certain type of business, you're in that industry, you got to shake hands and talk with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? You got to be sociable, Yeah, you have to, you don't know which way the luck is going to come. It might be somebody that you just meet, and they might have needed a contractor, to do the job, and they offer, you introducing yourself. Hey, I'm Kathy Davis. Yeah, I do cleaning contracts, or, I'm a real estate broker and I sell houses. You don't know if the person that you meet that, oh yeah, well, my neighbor is selling his house, or something like that, So you can't really be shy with it. And, you have to be persistent. You have to be persistent with whatever you desire, but make sure it's something that you really desire and that you really want to do, because, once you build up the clientele and you have a lot of work, you got to be doing this, A job basically is like 40 hours a week, right? But a business, you might be doing it 80 hours a week. You might do it double time, because you're trying to build a strong foundation. Okay, so you have to be persistent. You got to be persistent with it in order for it to be successful. And even for the people that say, well, yeah, I did that already. I did too. You know what I'm saying? And I put the business plan together, and I put the competition together. I put the marketing and, advertising page together. I put the executive summary. I mean, all parts. I went to the CPA and put the accountant together. And the competition that I put together was basically other businesses the same size as mine. You understand what I'm saying? But that cleaning business, once I did get the loan and opened up and expanded and opened up my storefront, what I didn't anticipate was somebody close to me, working against me, to knock it down. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing about business is that you have to build a strong foundation. You understand what I'm saying? And like with me, I had one direction where one contact direction that got me the majority of my work, my contracts. So now what I learned is that, you have to have multiple connects. You can't just depend on one source, because, if that source cuts you off, then that knocks down your whole business, and you're out of business. You don't have no more contracts. So if that person that's helping you get contracts, if you're depending on another person's business to help you get your business, and you don't have multiple sources of procurement, once they cut you off and tell everybody else to stop messing with you, now you got nothing coming in. Now your business has failed. So that's what happened to me. But is that a reason? Is that a reason for me to say, okay, so my life is over, I'm no good with business no more? So no, that's not a reason to say, that's not a reason to quit. That's an experience. You understand what I'm saying? But like today, do I want to do cleaning? No. I used to work in construction. I used to be a carpenter. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't a full-fledged carpenter. I was a 2-year carpenter. I didn't pursue to stay because I knew getting up 7 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning to get ready to be on a construction job site, 7 o'clock in the morning, any day of the year, whether it's scorching hot out there, whether it's cold winter, is not what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't pursue heavily in construction, but I made good money when, as a youth, when I was younger in construction, working construction contracts, even though I went to school for secretary. I went to school and got a certificate from Drake Business School to be we studied secretarial science, so it was everything. You know what I'm saying? When they say science, that's like all aspects of secretary. Okay, so now I know how to type and I know how to write up documents, legal, professional typing forms, type in a professional manner. You understand? But when I went after that job, it was like I wasn't girly enough. I wasn't front desk, quality, where they be like in their little skirts and, walking in heels and stuff like that. I wasn't that secretary or front desk person to greet, everybody that comes through the door. So even though I got that certificate so that I can satisfy, my, your basic, my basic education. Basically, I got a GED and I got a business certificate from Drake's, the same year I was supposed to graduate from high school. So just to satisfy the basics and to recover from not graduating high school, I went and graduated. When my high school graduating class was graduating, I already had my GED and I already had a trade in as a secretary. I had one job with the Board of Education. They called me in to write some kid books or something like that, and I was completely lost, and they wasn't giving me direction, so that didn't work out. So I had to pay my rent, so it was basically let me go work this construction. But from the construction, the sites needed cleaning up. The inspectors had to come and make sure that these apartments or this building could be turned over for people to rent. So all of that construction gulk and everything, the place had to be cleaned up, windows, with paint and all of that stuff splattered on it, and kitchen, with all of the carpenter sawdust, and the floors, and the bathrooms was the worst, shitty toilets. So that came where my business came. But let me say about 4 women in my family already did the cleaning business already too. So you know what I'm saying? So that's another reason. And then my childhood chores. When I was a child, we used to have to clean bathrooms, clean kitchen, clean dishes and stuff like that. So basically, the cleaning business was a means of survival. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can't do nothing else, I could clean. You know what I'm saying? For a living. You know what I'm saying? I could make a couple of bucks cleaning for a living. You know what I'm saying? And then after that business had failed, because I was doing much better when I was working from home. But then I had built up so many machines, buffing machines, floor machines, vacuum cleaners, and all kind of chemicals. And I had a young daughter in the house and stuff. So I said, well, let me get a place where, I can, have a place for my machines and all my stuff and my crew to come get paid. Because my crew used to come to my house to get paid, you know what I'm saying? Knock on my door. And that was different, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted a spot. I wanted to, see my big awning up there and, have an office space. And that's where I went wrong. That's where, I didn't have more than one connect. I didn't I didn't have a lot of experience with procuring contracts. And while I was in the store, I was trying to start procuring from the city, So it was a little too late. And then I moved on from there. I moved into real estate. I became a real estate agent. And then after, feeling like being jerked or being ripped off by different brokers, I said, well, let me become a broker myself. All I have to do is do extra school and go down and pass the test of day pass. Once you pass the test of day pass, you're a broker. Okay? But the only thing about being the boss, you have to pay the cost. It's the overhead. You understand? So, and with self-employment, independent contracting and stuff like that, and commission-based salaries, you have to be persistent. You have to go every day. You have to get up. You got to motivate yourself to get off your butt. And it takes a long time for your foundation to be strong, because your foundation could be rocked. You know what I'm saying? If a business don't have a strong foundation, it's bound to fail, Anybody could knock it over, like what happened with my cleaning business, I had one source of connect, and I should have had several sources of connect, so when that one cut off, I still got the other ones that I'm dealing with, So I lost a little bit of money, but I still got other ways to get work, Okay, so is that the end of the world, that you put together a business, you did everything that they told you to do, you did your marketing business plan, and you got a loan, it went into default, is it over for you? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know what you are, 30, 40, 50, Is life over? Is that the end of the world? That's the problem with us. One thing happened and, some people just fall out on drugs and, okay, this messed up for me, so I'm going to just be a crackhead. I'm going to just be a dope fiend, you know what I'm saying? I tried something and they sing that song all their life, you know what I'm saying? That one story, Shoot, me, since my mother passed away since I was 3, and I ran away when I was 14, because my aunt took me to the South, to Georgia. I didn't like it down there, and, she was a little strict from back in the days. That's how they were. And I ran away back up to New York, around, I wanted to be in familiar grounds because I had already made it to middle school. So I didn't care for the trees in the forest out there, it was hot. You getting putting on punishments and all kinds of stuff like that. So I came back up to New York, stayed with my sister, and then from there, different sisters putting me out, getting apartments, losing apartments, having to go live here. This one putting me out, staying with friends, a couple of nights with friends and coming back. And it just, I guess you could call it my homeless, era. You know what I'm saying? It's that point for a teenager when, you might not even be old enough to be on your own. You might have not had reached 18 yet. You might be like, 14, 15, 16, and you don't like the way the things is going. You might be with your parents, or you might be adopted, or, like in my case, my mother passed. I wasn't with my real parents, you know what I'm saying? So, no place was home, no place was really home, My place, where my heart was at was already up in heaven with God, you know what I'm saying? So I had that relationship since I was a kid. I used to pray to God when I was a kid, because I always thought my mother was up there with God. So I used to always talk up to that higher energy from a kid, So I really feel like now that I have a strong connection with the higher energy, because I've been talking so long with the higher energy, because that's where my mother's been. All my brothers, gangsters and getting killed, and some of my family members. One of my brothers died from cancer. 2 of my sisters died from cancer, you know what I'm saying? So my father passed away in the, was it the 80s? I think it was the 80s. Yeah, I think it was like 89 or something like that, So I've been through a lot, My mother died when I was 3. I built a business all by myself, and put together all the paperwork, trying to build a strong foundation, People being jealous instead of supportive, you know what I'm saying? And, trying to do everything by myself and failed. So with all of that, still striving for greatness, you know what I'm saying? I'm still striving, even though I have to switch paths. I know the cleaning business is not something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life, you know what I'm saying? But when you in a minority situation, you pick up whatever for survival, or for the extra income. But right now, like, I'm a real estate broker. I'm looking to be a mortgage banker. So I'm taking my mortgage loan originators test. I took it twice and failed, which is questionable to me, the second failure. But with that failure, I'm determined to get it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to keep studying. I send in a special form to request explanation. Like, from the first test, they gave me a 73. Like, you got to get a 75, so I'm 2 points away. I studied for another month, waited 30 days, took the test again, and they gave me another 73. So I just think that they generated the same score, or is that the black female score? Because 50% of the people fail, or they don't want everybody in the banking business, the lending business, you know what I'm saying? So they're making it difficult. So I'm motivated to continue studying. Even though my level from the first test is up here to the second test, it shouldn't been at the same score. But I don't know what their feedback is going to be. They're going to check into and see what's going on, because now with the coronavirus, they started them state tests you can take at home with a camera, with a webcam. you have problems, like it logs you out, and it logged me out in the middle of my test. So I was questioning them whether all the answers, when I came back to that same test, was the answers that I got up to question 14, did they get erased? Or, because I didn't go back to question 1. They brought me back to question 14. So, you see, something like that will disappoint somebody and just make them just drop it and say, forget it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm motivated to continue and take the test for the 3rd time. Even though in the real estate, for my real estate agent license, you got to take a test. I went down there and passed it the first time. The broker's test, they say that's very difficult. I went and passed that on the first shot. So with the mortgage, they got a 50% failing rate, and I just think that they purposely is trying to keep that reputation and keep that like that. They don't want everybody in the business, but you have to give people the score that they earned. You know what I'm saying? You have to fairly give people the score that they earned, because you teaching in mortgage, it's the lending, and they teaching rules and regulations and protecting the customer. So if they protecting the customer, they have to same with the test, They have to be the same they have to be the same way. They have to be fair with it, But I'll study more. Because, I feel like it'll make me a complete broker if I know mortgage, Or if I advance more with the mortgage, then the mortgage would, company would take the lead, Yeah. But it's not easy. They have to check your background. Certain things you have to make sure that you keep a clean background, Because some of these licenses, you can't have a felony after so many years. They don't want you to have, with the lending, they don't want you to have a foreclosure within 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So if you foreclose on the property within the last 2 years, they don't want you to have the mortgage loan license, Not that they're not going to never give it to you, but you have to wait some time. If you did fraud, you might not never get it. Even if it's been 17 years since your conviction, or 20 years since your conviction, you might never get a mortgage. But my background is clean. They check your credit, So my credit is not perfect, but I think it's passable. Whew.
Hey, Grandma. Can we tell the people what motivation means?
Do you know what it means? She want to tell the people what motivation means.
How to pronounce motivation first?
Huh? Maybe you want to read the other definition? Determination. Persistence. Motivation. It didn't read it off.
Motivation.
Yeah, what does it say about motivation? My granddaughter's learning the definition of motivation.
The reason or reason one has for acting or behaving in a particular way.
And what's another definition on the bottom underneath that? What's the different words that is equal to motivation?
Escape can be strong motivation for travel.
No, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the one where it says determination. And today we are talking about being determined is what my focus is. Being determined to pursue whatever it is that you desire and try to find a way to motivate yourself. Because you might need somebody to say, you might want to be a mechanic, and you might need somebody to say, yeah, go ahead, you could study that, and that's going to take you a couple of years or whatever the situation is, but we all still going to be here, and you gonna be all right. That time is gonna go by anyway. You might as well study and go ahead and get that done and get that education and learn what you need to learn. Some people just need somebody to talk that stuff.
Hey, Grandma.
What?
Well, how do you spell determine?
DETERMINED. I think it's ED, determined, or MIND. Don't get me to being confused right now, because you're throwing me off with what I'm trying to explain. How some people need somebody to egg them on, basically, is what I'm saying. That's how I used to be. I used to know what I need to do, go to all of these business meetings, have all of these forms. I got a whole bunch of books and papers and applications and stuff of different things that I've, focused on and really didn't pursue, different things and stuff like that. But I used to be a person that needed somebody to egg me on. Go ahead, yeah, you could do your business plan. Then you have other people that are telling you they're not giving you no business loan. They just clearly look at me and see me as a small business with no money in the bank. Got the bank account, no money in the bank, and going around doing these jobs, getting a low ball, being a low baller on a job. So by the time I pay my workers, it's not much money left over to save in the bank. You know what I'm saying? So people knew what the situation was, but for those same reasons is the reasons why they gave me the loan, because they felt that with a little assistance, you can grow better. You know what I'm saying? You can get better. You can train workers. You could have some capital. You could have some money in the bank. You can choose your jobs more better. Make yourself more in demand. So don't think just because of your situation, oh, I'm black and I'm a minority and live in the hood or in the projects. There's plenty of people that have businesses in the projects. And then with housing, when you've been on a housing contracts, they have a special program. I think it's called Section 8. I forgot what it's called, Section 3 or something like that. Whereas if you live in the projects, you have priority for a project contract over other people that don't live here, or people or contractors that get the contract with the housing may have to use somebody a business that's of a person that lives in public housing. The subcontract. They need somebody from the housing. They need to either employ or use a subcontractor on a contract. So don't listen to people when they say, "Oh, you ain't nothing. You was born nothing. You wasn't born with no spoon in your mouth. You don't deserve nothing. They not giving you nothing." Don't believe that, because every business, even in buildings, like in them luxury buildings, I had a girlfriend, a girlfriend of one of my sisters that she had, I was down there. I worked on that building. I did construction. It was in a luxury building. And she had, I seen her coming through the building. I'm like, what are you doing in this building? You know what I'm saying? She come from the South Bronx. She said, I got me an apartment. I said, how you got an apartment in this building? I worked it. I did the construction over here, and I know these is rich people's apartments. Well, she said, well, a certain percentage of the building have to go to minorities, and she put in her application, and she had got it. So she was living down in Midtown Manhattan in a luxury buildings because a certain portion of the building, I guess it's with the discrimination law that you have to provide a certain amount of apartments for minorities, The same thing with the banking. They just can't lend to all, people that have money, you know what I'm saying? They have to make provisions for minorities that they cover in everybody, okay? So, yeah, that's my motivation for today. We almost an hour in. We got a few minutes left. It look like I'm not doing nothing here, but I'm pulling these resistant bands while I'm talking, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing this. And no, I'm not going hard, but I think what we're gonna do is go to the gym. I'm gonna take it to the gym and get on some big machines and help me reach my goals a little bit faster. But I just wanted to today just talk about, just go ahead and, if you have something that you want to pursue, go ahead and get to it. Because the people around you, if you coming from the hood, they don't really want to see you get out. So you might, a lot of times they don't put, convince you or to you don't have that many people around you convincing you to pursue what you're talking about. So you just keep talking about it, and some people might be sucking their teeth and waving their hand every time you talk about it because they don't really want to see you get up out the hood. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you might have to separate yourself from people. Like right now, I stay to myself. I got my granddaughter here with me that comes over sometime. And that's basically it. I see my daughters, when I pick up my grandbaby or something, sometimes she come over here and chill or something like that. But, I found myself in a situation where I was by myself, where everybody turned against me. And I was asking God, why me? Until I realized, I don't know if he put the answer in me or I just started thanking God that he showed me this picture that you're doing bad. You're not able to shop for new clothes. You don't have much money coming in. And nobody's in your corner. Everybody's looking at you as little. All your competition or your ops is bigger than you. You know what I'm saying? You're just stuck, trapped in a, messed up situation. You don't have no security, no protection. You know what I'm saying? And now that I'm coming out of that, it would put me in a mental state and everything. Mental hospital for a whole week and everything. I was just bugged out, getting paranoid, that people was coming through my door and everything. I mean, I was in the worst low. I mean, I used to come outside and walk, and I didn't want to get dressed up in good clothes and stuff. I used to be wearing the same thing every day. And they used to be pointing me out as the bum and all kind of stuff like that. And I was just in a messed up space in life. And, now, I'm coming back. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming back to myself. And, I never really felt that I can, speak for people. But now, since I've been through so much, I've been through the struggle. I just feel like I just want to talk to the world and tell the world what I've been through and motivate people that, you could be at the lowest of the low and you don't have to always stay there. I don't care if you was down for 10 years, you know what I'm saying? You might turn around and then, it's time to, get back up and get going. You know what I'm saying? Get out of that mental state. You are not supposed to be poor. You are not supposed to be struggling. It's up to you, like Kanye West said. He said slavery was a choice, but I think really what he meaning is that, your situation is your choice to stay there. If you are persistent with what you want to do and take steps every day and work at it when you're not getting paid to make your business work, no money might not be coming in, but every day you working, you might be working 14 hours a day, you know what I'm saying? Or you might be working 16 hours a day just putting forms together, business papers and stuff like that together to get the business going. And no money is turning right now, you know what I'm saying? But you're putting in the work to build it, and that's your story, That's your struggle, that's your story, and it's fine. I always talk about, my situation, like, my cousin, he backstabbed me and he stole the cleaning business and stole my connection and stuff. But, thank you. Thank you, backstabbing cousin, because you know what? Now that's my story. Now I have experience, that I can share with other people so that they know that their lives can turn around from being all the way down on the bottom. I have people in the family that turn against me that I don't really want to talk to no more. Now they ready to, years down the line, get back with me and be in my circle, and I don't trust that. You understand what I'm saying? And I told them years ago, if you don't act right now, when I'm down and at my lowest, if I don't have nobody in my corner, don't catch me later. Don't catch me later on when I'm getting back up off the ground by myself, and then you want to come back in my circle, because my thing is that you might want to knock me back down again. So I'm not going to give you that second opportunity, so you out. You know what I'm saying? What do you want to say? Because our hour is up. Grandbaby's here with me. What do you want to say? You have something you want to say about motivation?
Yeah, I wanted to make the pronunciation and the definition of determined.
Go ahead, do it. She wants to give you the definition. She want to give the definition of determination, my granddaughter. So go ahead.
Determined.
Okay. Is it going to read the definition, or are you going to read it yourself?
Having made a firm discussion and being resolved not to change it.
Having determined to make a what? A confirmed decision and not to change it. Yeah. Be determined with what you want to do, and if that's what you really want to do, don't do nothing else. Focus on that 100%. If you're not efficient at it right now, do it 1,000 times over. Do it every day 100 times. You know what I'm saying? And try to motivate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Or make your surroundings, change your friends, even family members that just want to hang around and cloud. Your space and your time is very important. So, put yourself around like-minded people, other people that's interested in that same business, or just go it alone. But you might have to be by yourself for a minute. You might have to stop all the friends, all the family. You might have to get in your room, get in your computer, and study. I don't know how many months, days, years, or whatever it's going to take you to accomplish what you need to accomplish, but you need to focus on yourself, and you need to invest in yourself. And with that, for 1 hour day workout, basically, that's it. I hope you're doing your workout 1 hour every day so we could look good when we put on those business suits and stuff like that. Look good out there. We want to get our bodies in shape. But the main thing today is motivation, your mind. Motivate your mind to go ahead and do the things that you want to do. And I'm long-winded with this one today. So, yeah. I never been a motivation speaker, but if I can help people, I would travel and do that. I think that's those people that do that is doing a good service to the public. Okay, so peace. I'm out. Stay motivated.
Bye.